This is a computer simulation of the sky right now. You can see if you look up, unless the trees and clouds are there, don't look up right now. You can easily see Moon and Saturn and Mars. So our ancestor has on top of that drawn some imaginary images to show the constellation. This was my first astronomy book where I get to know all about the constellation and the mythology behind the constellation. And this was my first binocular in school, gifted by parents. I used to sleep with it in the terrace. Later on, I gathered, actually bought these instruments, a pair of very good binoculars and some of the telescopes. And these kind of telescopes can actually show you the deep sky objects very well, given that it's a fairly dark sky and moonless sky. Out of the 88 constellation, 12 of them are very famous, you might have heard of, because astrologers use that to predict the future. Some of it doesn't work out for me, and I don't think it works out for anybody. The planets affects our life, but in a different way. In 1994, all right, I skipped the slide. You would have seen this kind of horoscope chart in newspapers. I never used them to see my future. I always used them to spot the planets in the sky, because astrologers were wrong in prediction, but they were correct in calculations. So even though there was no astronomy magazine at that time, I could use them. This was 1994. A comet called Shoemaker-Levy crashed into Jupiter because of its massive gravity and probably saved us from extinction. It was one of the comets or meteorite only who hit Earth millions of years ago and wiped out the dinosaurs. This is jewel of our solar system, Saturn. You can see one of the pictures taken by my telescope. This is what exactly it looks like through mine, the small one. And this is one of the largest moon in the solar system, called Titan. And I don't know if the watch is named after that. Moving away from the sun, these are two gaseous giants, Uranus and Neptune. Uranus has a very bizarre tilt of angle of axis. You can see it's rolling on the orbit. And Neptune is so far away that it takes so long to revolve around sun that it has been only one Neptunian year since it was discovered in last century. Coming close to the sun, this is Mercury. This moves so fast that it was named after the Greek messenger called Mercury. And it's because of its proximity to the sun, it is very barely visible from Earth. And you can see after the sunset or just before the sunrise. This is Venus. We better know as evening star or morning star. It's the hottest planet because of its greenhouse effect due to the carbon dioxide cloud. And every vehicle which tried to land in here sent by a human being sustained only maximum 2 hours. This is one of the pictures we got, luckily. This is one of the pictures I took. I just draw the chart for your conveyance. That is Mars. And this is where the aliens come, right? But our vehicles didn't find any. At max, they found some frozen water, that's ice. And this is what a typical sunset looks like from Martian surface. All right. Speaking of rise and set, this is Earthrise from the lunar surface. Yes, we did go to moon, except those hoaxes. This is my telescopic view of the moon. You can see the craters. This is one of my friend captured during the lunar eclipse. It is kind of chrome color because of the Earth atmosphere. Yeah. Pluto has been enjoying planetship since last century, but it was degraded to dwarf planet because of its weird orbit and very tiny nature. It's smaller than moon. And we haven't reached there by any spacecraft haven't reached there till yet, but we might get that kind of picture once we reach 2015. This is the relative sizes of the planets and the sun. This is a family portrait taken by the Voyager spacecraft in 1990 with a very wide angle lens, and you can barely figure out, so that's why the boxes are there for your convenience. Every star we see in the sky, it belongs to our own Milky Way galaxy. But however, this is the only object we see in naked eye, which is outside our galaxy. This is the neighboring galaxy called Andromeda Galaxy, and this is also the farthest object we can see in naked eyes. with fairly dark sky, of course. The light pollution has killed my hobby. This is Voyager, one of the successful interstellar spacecraft rather, which was sent 45 years ago in 1977. They traveled Uranus, Neptune, and the second one is traveling at the edge of solar system right now and sent us excellent pictures. This was one of the solar eclipse. We made a pinhole camera, you might have heard, using a box. And it was cloudy, so we could take a picture without burning our lenses. This is a recent event, June the 6th, Venus transit. This is our fellow photographers, quite busy capturing the transit. One of the photographers put all the Venus transit photos together, stacked, and came up with this image. This is actually eclipse of sun by Venus, quite small. Quite a few familiar places, familiar faces. This was 17 November during Leonid meteor shower. We went to one of the darkest places in Hyderabad. That's eventually Gandipet area, I guess. And this is with my telescope. You can see the mirror a little bit. This is a 10-minute exposure, so you can see some stars. Okay, I'll leave you with this image, which is taken from the Saturn's orbit by Voyager, eclipsing the sun, so that we can take a picture of a dust suspended on a sunbeam, which is our Mother Earth. Thank you very much.